Hello, hello, my Scorpio collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Welcome to your soulmate read for November-ish 2019. I have to say ish because it's like halfway through the month already. I took yesterday off. I got Libra done and then I got hit with this empathic wave. So I spent the day in emotional exorcism, a little water magic, hence the clean shave, except for the Van Dyke, by the way. Goatee, Van Dyke. Goatee, Van Dyke. There's a difference. Dick, Van Dyke. If you are new to my channel, though, I am your reader for the moment. Mark Angelo, Lyons, Mal, for short. President of Drawing the Circle Productions, 21 and a half years this past Samhain. In business, professional witch, professional intuitive, and really, really honored to be doing this work. Purification by water for 24 hours will make you really, really honored and happy to be able to serve at all. But it's good, you know, hey, come on, Moon was in Cancer on a Friday, waning moon, right? I'm still here, Elaine Stretch. If you are new to my channel, please do like and subscribe. My subscribers, welcome back. I'm shooting for that 1,000 plus subscribers mark so I can do super live chat, and I'm making a promise that when I get there once a month, at least for a couple of months, I will do what is called Drunk Tarot. Drunk Tarot, I never read professionally when I drink, and I don't drink that much, so it's kind of easy. I'm a total lightweight, like hot sake, you know, white wine, like, yeah, I'll do a tequila shot, you know, at a bar or something, but I'm not really a big drinker. Considering I'm a dominant Dionysus archetype. But, you know, like tomorrow I'm doing a party in Center Moriches, yeah. 4-hour party. A friend of mine is having her 50th birthday party. A mutual friend of ours who I haven't seen since college is going to be there. So I'm going to be doing 4 hours of reading, and they're going to be like, do you want something to drink? I'll be like, do you want my edit function to shut off? Do you want my diplomacy to be left out in the glove box of my car? No, you don't. But if everybody's into it, right, if everybody knows it's a drunk tarot, first of all, you get to watch me get steadily drunk on so little alcohol. Like, I don't know, I'll do a shot of Chardonnay or Pinot Grigio or something for every time, you know, I pull a card or do a reading or something. And it's just funny, like, I'm not a mean drunk, because I have read cards at parties without them being, you know, tarot parties. Just like friends hanging out, just like, oh, bitch, you so screwed, right? And everybody takes it light, everybody takes it funny, so if you will please help me get to 1,000 subscribers, I will do that once a month for a couple months. We'll see how it goes. Cool, cool. This is exposition, by the way. Have to do this part. It's just part of being a YouTuber and a reader. So if anybody wants to timestamp when the actual reading begins, feel free to. A couple of things. This is a general reading, right, my Scorpios? So not everything's going to click for everybody, right? You try surfing the quantum minefields. Well, that was a contradictory in terms there. Surfing a minefield? No, minefield. Searching the quantum threads of collectives with zodiac and planets and all that. That's a lot. So I bless the cards every time I start. That'd be truly helpful, right, before I hit record. That'd be truly helpful for whoever watches this. So it may be like one piece of information that works for you. But if it's not your reading, it's not your reading. And how you know it resonates. People, like, I hear it all the time, take what resonates. Well, how do you know if something resonates? You feel it in your body. That's resonation. If it makes sense to you, that's fine. If it's intellectual, it might even touch you emotionally, but what is your body doing? If there's attraction or repulsion, there's a message for you. When it goes, meh, right, flatline, meh, plenty of times. I'm like, meh, watching other readers. Not for me, this one, thank you very much. I'll still hit like anyway, because I know how hard they're working. But that's how you know, right? So that's why I always do at least Sun, Moon, Rising when I'm doing a zodiacal series like this one. So please do check your other signs. We are going to be doing masculine and feminine, divine masculine, divine feminine in this reading, but we're not talking about bodily gender ever, 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 ever. Look, I am gay, all right? So I have had trans people in my life for decades. Whatever you want to call yourself, we're talking about divine yin and divine yang, but in the West we call it divine feminine, divine masculine. So depending on who you're with at any given time, what is more dominant in you in that relationship. Like with some people, I'm very divine masculine, I'm a top. just how it is. Find me on Scruff. But around others, around certain men in particular, it's like, I am the divine feminine, I am the empress, and I need a good emperor to balance me out that way. So predominantly I consider myself a divine feminine. I'm a first waver empath. Pisces moon. Yeah, now maybe you get, oh yeah, Cancer moon yesterday. On a Friday. Yeah, it was necessary. There's a bit of a tricky trine there. Yeah, it's not about bodily gender, but it's a good way to differentiate between two people in a soul contract, which gets us to our next point. Soulmates are contracts. They're pre-incarnational agreements you make with other souls coming into this life to help each other heal. That is the definition I'm sticking with. Matt Kahn did this. He's a brilliant spiritual teacher. I pretty much watch him every day, like something or other. Like he has long ones, he has like long videos and short ones and all of that. Just always has something that's very relevant. It's almost like YouTube tarot for me. What do I need? Oh, there he is. That he did a video called Soul Contracts, Twin Flames and Soulmates Redefined, which blew me out of the water because I never liked really the word soulmate as I got older, twin flame even less so, and his explanation of it is magnificent. The link is in the description box below, as are the videos that I've done clarifying it, clarifying twin flame, soulmates, and true lovers. True lovers is my download from the angels, the gods, the masters, and the higher selves, which is about the implosion of twin flame and soulmate, but there aren't a hell of a lot of those on the planet apparently, but eventually there'll be much more, and I want to be one. So that's cool, right? Oh, so soulmate satisfying contracts can be any form, right? What we're looking at here is the energy. There's no guarantee this is going to be romantic, sexual. The cards determine that, as well as my empathic skill, right? If I'm really feeling it, I will call it out even if the cards aren't there. But it can be mother-child, right? It doesn't have to be best friends, right? That you help each other heal, soothing, satisfying, symbiotic, supportive. You get the vibe where twin flames are a whole other different category. Don't even want to touch it right now, if you don't mind. Cool. So what else? Oh yeah, so please do check the description box below. I got a lot of cool links in there. My ebooks are in there. My Vimeo channel is off the fucking charts. I got so much stuff on there, classes that you can take, a lot of free stuff, but a lot of stuff on demand, where you buy it once, you can watch it forever. Cool. Anything else? Oh yes, please remember to breathe. Now you're going to breathe anyway. But that has been such a powerful shifting dynamic since doing those Sal and Mercury retrograde reads. Please go watch those. The more we breathe, more prana comes in, healing, dealing, balancing what needs to be dealt with, exhaling anything that no longer serves, that's ready to go. Not all at once on the inhale or the exhale, so don't be waiting to inhale or exhale. So you'll hear me say a couple of times when my guides nudge me, breathe, and I ask you to join along with me. Cool. Let's get into this gig. We are going to start with the Caroline Myss archetype cards. All the decks that I read are in the description box at the bottom. And let's get an archetype, one for the divine feminine, one for the divine masculine, in this soulmate contract for you, Scorpio. So you'll know probably within the first two cards through what resonates, right? Animation, the energy in your body, which one is you. And if not, just keep watching, because they're going to be the two dominant cards in the spread. Every other mini spread that I do will be in clarification of those two. Cool. Here we go. Breathe. Yeah, that would be a good time to timestamp. My collective pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved. Please, one card in clarity for the divine feminine in this Scorpio collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign soulmate contract. One, what is the dominant energy, the dominant soul power, the dominant archetype within this divine feminine to be alchemized from lead to gold in this help each other heal soulmate contract for November-ish? Ooh, the athlete. Ooh, divine feminine athlete. Now, if you're new, these cards have shadow and light. I like using the language of alchemy, lead, and gold, right? Toxic, healing, right? Sick, healthy. You get the context there. So we're going to start with the lead. Let's get the lead out of the way. The shadow attribute of the athlete archetype. Misuse of athletic ability for selfish ends, false sense of invulnerability, and entitlement. Entitlement is one of the 7 deadly sins. It's the deadly sin of the solar plexus, the shadow passion, whatever you want to call that. I learned that from Caroline Myss, Defying Gravity. It's either Defy Gravity or Defying Gravity. I can't remember at the mo. But that sense of entitlement, we're seeing it rampant on the planet. It's the demon entitlement, and we all need to alchemize that. Solar plexus, it has to do with self-esteem and self-worth, and it's an overcompensation, right? And very narcissistic, incredibly narcissistic. So that's why we have so many narcissistic athletes in the world, right? Now, by the way, this archetype need not be about sports, right? I have the athlete archetype. It's not dominant in the house that it's in my chart. It's supportive. It's Kairos comes and goes, where the lifelong is Chronos, right? All of time for this life. I have it paired with the artist, so I'm the athletic artist. I was a dancer. I was a professional dancer in my youth. That's why I still have the structure, right, and the posture, hopefully. But also when I write, when I work, doing this, anything artistic, I have these I have an athletic part about it, which you'll hear about now in the light, the gold. This is what this relationship is helping the divine feminine alchemize into. Dedication to transcending physical limits, including handicaps. Development of personal willpower and strength of spirit, right? That you can be athletic on your spiritual path. You can be athletic in your creative path. Now, the athlete archetype is, I believe, the creative family, because they are creating, there are different families of archetypes, like they are creating their own strength. So it is about creativity, even if it's on the field, right? That they're creating strategies, plays, always building, always getting better, setting boundaries, setting goals, going for them, right? Doing that. So people can be very athletic in their work. So, but that also, when you work so damn hard, when in a low moment, which is not the end of the world, you fall into that sense of entitlement, right? When you're just burnt out, or that feeling of invulnerability. I can do this, I can do anything, and the gods are like, Monty Python foot, right? So just be aware of that if you resonate with that for the divine feminine. Let's get one for the divine masculine. By the way, clearing out a head cold still. Ugh, it's been like a week and a half. This is water, not wine. I mean, I'm good, all right, that good. Pure filtered water. I have the pure filter, PUR, so I just bottle it up so I don't have to keep refilling and waiting every time I want water. Breathe. My collective pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved. Please, one card for the divine masculine. In this Scorpio collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign soulmate contract for November-ish 2019. Please, one card for the divine masculine. What's his dominant archetype? The soul power he's alchemizing and bringing to the table. Ooh, the Femme Fatale. Now remember, we are not talking about physical body gender. So we could have a divine feminine male athlete, and we could have a divine masculine female femme fatale, right? So there does seems to be a little juxtaposition. But remember, we have both of these energies inside of us. So another way to watch these readings is to see them as your own masculine feminine balance, which would be really good in terms of if you are single and if you're looking for that romantic soulmate, for example, to wed these two within you, right? That you be a mate to your own soul in that way. There's another reader that I watch who does that, Erica Elmuts, Elmuts. She's amazing. She's really good. I love the Quantum Queen too. I have my favorites. Of course I watch them. I need to do something in between reads while things are processing on the computer. You think I'm going to do? Watch the news? Yeah, that'll throw me for a loop. I save that for when I'm done. So now what we're going to do, how fun, is we're going to do 2 separate element spreads. Fire, earth, air, water, spirit, shaped like a pentacle without the circle around it. We're going to be using Daughters of the Moon for the Divine Feminine, Mythic Tarot for the Divine Masculine. I love this part. This is my favorite spread to do. I used to read this all the time during fundraisers. I haven't done a psychic fair in forever, but I'll do a fundraiser. I've plenty of times I've given gift certificates for silent auctions and stuff like that. I've been doing this since I'm 12. Jeez. Oh, and if you'd like to book a reading with me, info's in the description box below. I take clients all the time. A lot face-to-face, but now through this YouTube thing, I've been doing it through Facebook video chat and Skype, and sometimes just over the phone on speakerphone. I prefer that than recording a reading and sending it out. It's just, I guess I'm an old fart that way. Sorry, not sorry. Here we go. Breathe. Oh, pardon-moi, s'il vous plaît. My goddesses, please. Element spread, top 5 cards for the Divine Feminine in this Scorpio collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, Soulmate contract for November 2019. Fire, what does she want? Earth, what does she have to get her what she wants? Air, what is she thinking? Water, what is she feeling? And spirit, what is the overview from the divine? Please, top 5 cards. Thank you very much. Riffle, shuffle, and then Maiden. No, you're staying there. Mother. Crone. Yeah, sometimes you don't get a clean cut with round cards. They catch in the joints of the finger. So I usually ask clean cut, please. But that one was not. I was very, very clear that the one, it didn't want to drop down. Otherwise it drops and becomes the first card. Not this case. So, fire. What does the Divine Feminine want? She wants the Divine Masculine. Now remember, we're not talking gender here, but this is the card of the Emperor and the High Priest and Daughters of the Moon. She fuses them into one, which I think is just fine. For a feminist deck. I think that's totally cool. So, wants. Now again, one can want because of an athlete, maybe a stronger connection to their own divine masculine energy, considering they are athletic. But remember, athletic not just in the physical sense, like to have the ability to endure trials and tribulations, right? To set goals and go for them and achieve. And remember, it's creative family archetype, so creating strength, right? Creating endurance, creating honor, creating... You sort of get the idea. I mean, even if like the physical activity is yoga, but it can be like I'm an athletic writer. When I write for days. I mean, that's why my 3rd book, Path of True Love, I needed to put aside so that I could do the YouTube stuff. My editor's chewing on it now. My Jill, bless her heart, a Scorpio, by the way. Yeah, if you're going to get an editor, get a Scorpio. They catch the deets and the meaning. So what is the element of earth here for the Divine Feminine? The wax and the wick that feeds the flame of the candle, right? The earth that helps you get your fire. Well, the witch, the magician card. So absolutely in alignment, right? This Divine Feminine doesn't necessarily mean you're a witch. I'm a witch. I self-identify as an eclectic witch. I was Wiccan. I ain't no more. But I do adopt the Wiccan read, by the way, and ye harm none, do what you will, because I understand quantum physics. Yeah. It's not about being nice. It's about what are you putting into the quantum field, right? What you release the turnstile, threefold, and all that. But this is about being in alignment with spirit and making some kind of change or a decision that you have all the tools, the air, the fire, the water, the earth, which is exactly what this spread is about, bringing them all into union in order to initiate something, to make some kind of change. Cool. Well, 2 major arcana cards. You're very, very interesting if you are the Divine Feminine in this in terms of a contract, because what you want has an element of the divine in it, the Divine Masculine, and what you have really in this deck could be seen as a Divine Feminine card, but traditionally the Magician not seen that way. But here as the witch, again, something about alignment with the divine, alignment with spirit, and channeling that, if you'll pardon the overused phrase, into the air, the fire, the water, the earth, the thoughts, the desires, the emotions, and the physical form. All right, what is she thinking about this contract? Well, there's a Leo involved, the Leo card, which, you know, can be Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Pluto, Uranus, whatever. I mean, those are really outer planets. Like, I don't even know where those planets are at the mo. But certainly I can feel the mental field here, really thinking about the warmth and the pleasure and the delight and the snuggle and the sex and the romance. So I am feeling this is a romantic sexual contract. We are looking at here, if this is two people, which is, I'm thinking, predominantly in the collective, certainly still can be looked at as your own divine feminine, divine masculine, because that's going to be mirrored in your relationships anyway, as you heal and balance those, which certainly looking at that with that magician / witch card. So this is fixed fire. 5th house, creativity, good fortune, pleasure, feline, kitty cats, right? So a good time, right? And even, believe it or not, sports. So, you know, pleasurable activities, right? So on their mind a lot. And fixed fire, you could see that as being very, very focused, very, very goal-oriented, very much like, I want this, I want this, I want this, but it feels like she wants that with or about the divine masculine here, or again her own emperor tendencies, right? Her own strength, her own divine masculine energy. You know, that's the thing. If we can bless the people that we encounter, you know, reason, season, lifetime, twin flame, soulmate, whoever, if we silently bless ourselves with the things we think they need, right? So if somebody is rude, may I be blessed with kindness, because that's going to heal you, but that's going to shift the entire quantum field, because we're all one. That's 5th dimensional unity consciousness, right? We're all one. So as I heal, all heal. As I heal my heart, all hearts are healed. So you can even tune into somebody, right? And just silently, you know, or in a whisper. I do it in a whisper. And I say the person's name. I say, how may I serve you, right? Like if there's something fucked up or weird going on and we're not face to face, how can I serve you? And whatever I feel, I bless myself with the opposite. It heals it within me and sends them the energy. And it's not manipulation then, right? It's a blessing. And eventually you learn how to do that silently, face to face. Breathe. What's this divine feminine feeling in her emotional field? Well, there's a lot of fire going on here. The Ace of Flames, the Ace of Wands, initiation, really, really feeling. Got maybe a case of the hornies here, but also creative energy, right? Creative and sexual energy are the same thing. By the way, creative and sexual energy are spiritual energy. Unity consciousness, there's no such thing as anything that's not divine. It's just the divine appearing to be something other than the divine. That's why love is always the answer, but not necessarily romance is always the answer, right? Romantic love can be incredibly toxic, but yet our romantic sexual relationships help us unearth wounds within ourselves for healing that heal the collective as well. So, you know, that's path of true love stuff. Your romantic journey isn't narcissistic, it's holographic. Ooh, somebody write that down. That was good. All right, so let's get, what is the spirit card here? The overview for this divine feminine. It's the Lovers. It is divine union, sacred union. So yeah, I think we're saying at this point, but always a decision, right? The Lovers card doesn't immediately mean, you know, lovers, right? You're going to be lovers, your soulmates, your twin flames, you're going to be forever. It's like, yeah, there are billions of interpretations for every card. But it's always about a decision, either between the divine masculine mind, the divine feminine heart within yourself. Because if they are in conflict, right? Because your heart can say, I love this person, and the mind can say, you out of your fucking mind. Why do you want that person? Do you know what they've done to you? Don't you whatever? And makes sense, right? The intellect and the intuitive, or if you like, thoughts and emotions. Air and water, symbiotic. You condense air, you get water. You evaporate water, you get air. So this is a decision about balancing, being congruent in your heart and your mind, because your throat chakra has to make your choices, what you say, what you do, your conduct, you know, how you conduct yourself. And when we're torn in two different directions, not great. So this feels like the work is cut out for this divine feminine here in this soulmate contract, but do keep in mind this is a satisfying, help each other heal contract. So she may be having some issues, setting goals, doing it on her own, being independent, which is fabulous. And yes, the witch is very much that. The magician card in general, it's like, no, I'll do it myself, right? But there is, it feels like a passion both in the mental and the emotional field that seems like it's focused on the divine masculine. All right, so let's get some clarity for the divine masculine. Now, the Femme Fatale, it doesn't surprise me that it's in the divine masculine, because I get this one. It's, let me read it. You'll hear it. The shadow attribute: inappropriate use of sexuality, attachment to money and power. So that's not prostitution, but that's using your sensuality, not necessarily your sexuality, in order to get something, right? Femme fatale, right? Matahari, fatal female, Black Widow, Scarlett Johansson. Sorry, I just had a RuPaul's Drag Race flashback. I'm going to let that go. So the light attribute, you know that. You know Femme Fatale, right? What is that? Isn't that, which one is that? Praying mantis mates and then eats the head of the lover, of the one who mates it. Got a lover. The light attribute highlights the erotic energy of the feminine, opens your heart when dependency is rejected, right? So dependency is something we're trying to heal, right? Like codependency. So when that gets rejected, it's really about empowering yourself with the erotic energy of the female, right? So, you know, if you are a guy and saying, well, how could I have the femme fatale, dude? I get ya. It's that language, but it's about, are you using your erotic energy to get something? Are you using it inappropriately to get something? Like maybe without honesty, right? Maybe it's just to get laid. But that doesn't feel like this is what's going on here, because this is a soulmate thing, although that might have happened. This is up for them. But it feels like the sex between these two would be amazing. A femme fatale and an athlete. That's really kind of hot there. But do keep in mind, when your dependency is rejected, that might pop up in its shadow. It's like, well, then watch this, right? Like a power struggle there. But in its light, it really can be a lot of fun and very seductive and very Morticia and Gomez. There's a femme fatale for you. Good. Got it? Let's go. Let's ask the gods here for the divine masculine to help clarify this femme fatale archetype. Pardon me. That's why I have to keep drinking water, so it thins all that stuff out, so it doesn't make me cough so much. I will after I do this shuffle. Breathe. My gods, element spread top 5 cards, please, for this divine masculine. In the Scorpio collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign soulmate contract for November-ish 2019. Please, fire, what does he want? Air, what does he have? Fire, what does he want? Earth, what does he have? They know. Air, what does he think? Water, what does he feel? Spirit, what is the overview from the divine? Got it. Clean cut, please. Sun, Father, Sage. Sun, Father, Sage. Let's dive. What does the divine masculine, femme fatale, want in this soulmate contract? Well, 8 of Swords. Now, who wants the 8 of Swords, right? I mean, yeah, in the Rider-Waite Tarot, it's like bondage, right? It's like, I want to be tied up to a bunch of swords and blindfolded. Wouldn't shock me, but then that's at least a thought that they're playing with, and I'm not getting that. Like, that's like a very intellectual interpretation of this. Because I can't possibly think of any situation where I would want the 8 of Swords as traditionally defined. So it might be about sort of moving on in terms of the mental patterns that hold them, right? Particularly with the femme fatale thing. about inappropriate use of sensuality, that they believe they need to do that in order to get what they want. It's not unheard of for us to use our sexuality and our sensuality to get the things that we want. But the damage it does, and by the way, no tea, no shade, no pink lemonade. I've done it, right? We've all done it. You know, this is the sexual narcissist. Not you necessarily, but this pattern. Because we're all narcissists as kids and teenagers, except for those rare few divine beings. Well, we're all divine beings. But you know what I'm saying? And then something happens in our childhood or our adolescence where we learn that's how we get what we want, usually as a result of trauma, right? Like, nobody's a narcissist born, right? You're born into situations, families, schools, whatever, playgrounds, that you get wounded. The self-worth takes a great big huge hit, and so a mask has to be created. So something in there about a mental pattern. Let's look at the element of earth here, the wick and wax that feed the flame. Oh, the devil. So yeah, most likely unhealthy attachments going on here with the divine masculine femme fatale. Because I gotta say, the divine feminine here looks like she's got the skills to heal this stuff. I mean, 3 major arcana cards. Here we've got the first major arcana card for the divine masculine, and it's Pan, the devil. Now look, I don't believe in Satan and the devil the way a lot of people do. I'm pagan, right? My gods predate all that stuff. Essentially, early unity consciousness, except through pantheons, right? Not divide and conquer, but divine and praise, divine and worship, divide the divine. Oh, wow, thank you. Because it's all one at the end of the day, and the beginning of the day, and all through the day, unity consciousness. But Pan is very much about base urges, right? It's very much about the shadow side. As well as the death card, yes, that can be about going into the underworld and embracing the shadow, but this has a definite horny little goat energy to it, right? So there's something here, some sexual attachment, perhaps some sexual addiction, although I use that term extremely lightly. But like maybe porn addiction, or an attachment, an unhealthy thing that they probably, now I get it, want. It's like, why do I keep doing this? I feel trapped, I feel bound. And it is most likely a belief system-based wound, or what we would call a mental wound. So there's something that has to be healed, maybe through traditional therapy. I don't know your individual situations, but it feels like this contract is coming together to like help heal this stuff. So I feel like the sexual connection between these two is va-va-voom. I mean, it's chemistry. Divine female's definitely feeling it. For the divine feminine, definitely feeling it. For the divine masculine. But with that femme fatale at the top there, there's some motives here that the divine masculine has to look at. Remember, this is not about bodily gender. What is he thinking about all of this? Well, 4 of Pentacles, that he has to kind of guard himself, guard his heart, makes sense. Right? It's like, let's keep the energy below the waist. 1st and 2nd chakra only. Maybe 3rd chakra later. But definitely not the heart, right? Not that there isn't love here, but that this is the contract that these two have come together. Not that it's always going to be healer and patient. Unless that's the context. Unless this is some sort of therapist, a divine feminine, sexual, tantric, something, healer. Not feeling that, though, with the athlete. And then this would be the divine masculine going his client, which is a great idea, by the way. But that thing of really guarding the heart, of holding on, but in the mental field. Like, but what if it's like that what if thinking, not in a good place, but really clinging and holding on to, which, by the way, goes right along with the divine, the devil card of being in chains, right? Being chained to something, and that can be a wound, that can be an idea, it can be a belief that this is the only way I can get what I want and my needs met, right? That can be healed. Everything can be healed. It's just if we're looking for it only to heal in the outside world, hold your breath. But for now, breathe. Oh, pardon me. I said I was going to sip this. I'm must sip this every 15 seconds or I will die. Patsy and Adina. What is the divine masculine feeling about all this? Well, there we go, the star. The hope, the guidance, the grace, please. Feeling it intuitively. Now, again, the divine masculines are usually not as at home with their intuitive stuff. Doesn't mean that, well, everybody's got intuition. It's the soul communicating to the body, through the body. It's a very way of defining that quickly. But, you know, but what's interesting, letting out all of the ills of the world, right? All the sins, all the darkness. But Pandora's box, the myth, not the drag queen, although I love Pandora. Hope is retained. So there is in the emotional field here, and that's like, please, but I want it. So I can feel this divine masculine, you know, particularly if the divine masculine was raised male, right? Born male, raised as a male, get what you want, divide and conquer, conquest, conquest, conquest. That there's something here that the divine masculine is getting, yeah, but this isn't satisfying. Hence, a soulmate contract. Now, it's not that, I'm sure the sex is satisfying, but it feels like the psychological part of it, what happens afterwards, is something going on for them. And I really feel like this divine feminine is like, what do you need, babe? What do you need? You just tell me. You just tell me, because I'm a fucking athlete. I can take it. I can take it, and if I can't, I'll train so I can. Take it. Take it. Bear porn. Let's, not actual literal bears. Yogi and Boo. That's just wrong. What is the spirit? You know, what is the divine POV on this? The sun. Absolutely, this can be healed. Absolutely, this can be. You've got the star and the sun and the devil. Oh, you both have 3 major arcana cards. That's a lovely balance. Apollo, the god of healing, right? The sun shining. Revealing shadow, but what happens when you bring shadow into light? So put the sun and the devil together, right? What happens when that... what we do in the shadows. If you are not watching what we do in the shadows, you are missing out. My mom and I text each other back through the whole thing, howling, laughing. Can't wait for season 2. Oh, the Tilda Swinton, didn't that scare you? Didn't that shock you? Oh my God, it's Tilda Swinton. Tilda, who? She took the money and ran Venezuela. It's a really old song. So bringing the shadow into light. This is totally healable, totally dealable, but certainly that's simple, but it's not easy. Simple need not always imply easy. Course in Miracles. We're not done. Of course we're not. We have 3 more cards to lay down. Some oracular systems. We're going to use the Whispers of Love Oracle. Oh, kitty, kitty. Hey, Melky. Here, come on. Come on. Do a trick. Come on. Come on, booger. This is why my videos are so long. Come on. I know your soul's journey tarot. I love her though. I'll watch her for hours. This is Melchior, my youngest. Go lay down, lay down. Lay down for mama. See, I'm the divine feminine in the house. I'm mama. I live with 3 boys. Oh, if you don't behave, I'll rename you all Peter, Greg, and Bobby. No, I won't. Okay. So what this is this deck is for the voice of the higher selves of all involved, right? The 5th dimensional and above selves that have already been through this or watching from a place outside of linear time and space, reaching down through the waves, Katrina and otherwise. Well, I guess Katrina and the waves has a different meaning after the hurricane, but I was more about talking about walking on sunshine. So let's get one for each. I love these. Oh, and I've been saying a lot lately, just to help them out. I got these up in Saratoga Springs because Zeus and Hera, my parents, live up there, literally on a mountain in a castle. Looks like a castle, at least. So whenever I'm in town, I stop in at the Magic Moon in Saratoga Springs. I actually do readings there sometimes, and I am going for the Christmas holidays to spend maybe, I don't know, a week or so hanging out with Zeus and Hera, and I'll probably be doing readings there as well if you would like a face-to-face. I do take clients here at my house, and I will make house calls, but only to Long Island. Anything beyond a certain perimeter of miles, I charge more. I have to. It's just like gas alone, time and traffic and all that. I prefer this deal. Cool, cool. Breathe. They told me with these soulmate reads, take your time, don't rush. The world needs the soulmate contracts to be brought together, completed, fulfilled, because the world is so in need of healing that we need to do it holographically. Let the second wavers, the social justicers, protest. Those days are over for me. I heal from within, laying the energy pattern, laying the grid so that the divine masculines, which are really the second wavers, can go out and make that social justice change and balance. So here we go. The higher selves of all involved. Please, one whisper of love card. Melky! One whisper of love card in clarity for the divine feminine in this Scorpio collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Soulmate contract for November-ish 2019. Please, one, what is the whisper of love from the higher self of this divine feminine? Love who you are. You are a divine and wonderful person, deserving all of the wonderful things that life has to offer. And I will say, considering we've got the, the witch, the emperor, even though the emperor is what she wants, which feels like the divine masculine, and the lover's card, this feels like someone who's in alignment, is loving the self in a way, because these are two females in embrace. This could very much be, if you like, the light and the dark of this divine feminine, loving yourself, love who you are. There might be something, a study of Tantra or spiritual sexuality or Western sex, esoteric sex magic or something like that. Tantra's all about embracing the shadow anyway. It's not spirit, it's not yoga sex. Although it doesn't hurt if you know what you're doing. It is about energy and chakras and all that stuff, and it's ancient and it's Eastern, and of course we turned it into porn. Not everywhere, obviously, but Tantra has definitely taken on a different mask. Thank you, Sting. And I love Sting. I'm glad he's still so cute. Still make out with Sting. But Michael Hutchins is my long-lost love. I love everything in excess. Let's get one for the divine masculine, shall we? Higher selves of all involved, please. One card in clarity, a whisper of love. For the divine masculine in this Scorpio collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign soulmate contract for November-ish 2019, please. Melchior! Come on, lay down. Sorry, I have to do that again. Just as I was about to pick. He's my verbal one. The other two, not so much. Come on, lay down. Go on. Come on, give me that tail. I'm going to shave that tail and eat it. Not like black cat in her my mouth. Doesn't happen on the daily. Am I right, my witches? One more time. Here we go. Higher selves of all involved, for the divine masculine in this soulmate contract, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, what say you? New love. New love. Oh, I get what this means immediately. I'll read it, but I get it. New love. Embrace this new opportunity of love that is here. This may pertain to work opportunities or spiritual growth. That even if these two have been getting it on for a while, it's like, this is a new thing. It's like, what? It's like, what? How come I just don't want to, have sex? It's like, I actually kind of love you. I know. Why do I make fun of the divine masculines? It's not fair of me. But I see other readers doing it too, but that's no excuse. Blessed be the divine masculines. They've got it harder. The divine feminines were scheduled to wake up first. We are. We're fulfilling our role in the divine contract. And that's why so many of us end up as healers, right? In one way, shape, or form. Shamans, whatever you want to call it, right? More of the spiritual divine feminine side. But this is like brand new to this divine masculine. So who has used all this seduction and sexual energy to get what he wants. And now it's like, what is this feeling so sudden and new? Wrong song, but right lyric. Can you feel that? It's like there is a soulmate. This is a soulmate reading. This is a soulmate contract. But about spiritual growth and healing, right? Absolutely helping each other heal. And I feel like she's up for the game. In fact, she's an athlete. So very, very interesting interplay of energies here. One more card we're going to put down from the newest deck that I'm working with, the Oracle called The Journey of Love. I only know really one other reader who's doing this. Oh, Cindy. Oh, I don't remember something Awakening to Spirit. She's great too. She's just lovely. And her dog Lily, if you know who I'm talking about, she's great. I watch her too. Like I said, what am I going to do? Like watch CNN in between readings? No. I'm going to stay tuned in, tapped in, turned on. Abraham Hicks. So this is by Alana Fairchild, who is the author, Rassouli, R-A-S-S-O-U-L-I, who I believe is the artist, and Richard Cohn, C-O-H-N, who is the poet. So it's a collaboration of three, and I got these up at Saratoga Springs. The last time I went, I got the Whispers of Love, the trip before. It's like every time I go, it's like, what do you got? She's got a wall full of divination there. She's amazing. Plus sort of hidden all over the place, well merchandised. She's the Veronica. I love you, Veronica. I know you're not a Scorpio, but if you know Veronica, tell her. Mark Angelo Lyons Mel for short says that he loves her. Thank you. So what I'm going to do, we're going to ask the collective pantheons, just like we did for the Caroline Mace archetype cards. Please pardon me. This has got another couple of days, and then I think it's done. So since it is new, since this deck is new, I'm going to read it from the book, because every time I pull a card and I read it, it's like in a couple of readings. I think it was the Virgo read or the Libra read, maybe both. Like I fucking welled up. Pisces in. Oh great, wait till Pisces comes. Thank God that's the last one I'm doing today. I'll take a nice nap before that. So let's do this. This is for the overall relationship, just the soul contract, just one card. So please breathe with me. My collective pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the highest of all involved. Please, one card for this Scorpio collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign soulmate contract for November 2019, plain and simple. Oh, we got the Lovers. There it is. Lovers, L-O-V-E-R-S. You'll see it when I pop up the picture. It's going right in the center there, and it is card number 57, 5 and 7, right? Makes 12, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Look, I did math. Which reduces to a 3. Numerology was never my thing. Oh, God. Why can't I remember the name of my favorite numerologist? Oh, man, I've known her since I'm practically a kid. Yeah. Names were never my thing. All right, so this comes in... Oh. This actually... Yeah, it's 3 parts. The first part is usually sort of not a description of the card, but like the meaning of the card. The second part is the oracular meanings, like so what it means for the reading, and then a poem. And in this one, the poem is longer than the first 2 parts. So please breathe. Yes, it's love. It drives you forward and pulls you back to your heart. It makes the mind mad with misunderstanding and breaks it open into enlightened compassion. It is love. Your yearning heart shall have it. Your destiny is to be the lover of the beloved. Now there's a long history of the lover and the beloved, particularly in the work of Rumi, right? The Sufis, the lover and the beloved. Pardon me, that one stuck up on me. I know I'm not the only YouTuber coughing, by the way. This oracle brings a message of love, love, love. It is finding you now. Be open to it in all its form. Be the god and goddess of love and paint the town red. Play in passionate embrace with life as your lover and prepare to receive even more than what you believe you are capable of handing. Athlete, Femme Fatale, on the nose, and other places as well. Now, let's get these poems, man. It's like they're fucking tearjerkers, some of them. They're very touchy. Touching, I should say, not touchy. Breathe. Love is a magic word that holds the universe together. It is both an emotion and something ephemeral that lives like a fire's glow, or the pink light on the clouds after the sun has set. It is alive and yet indefinable. It causes the heart to beat more rapidly, feelings to show, and young people to write, sing, dance, and become totally immersed in its hold. Love can beckon coyly, or flaunt itself with wanton abandon. Love can live and grow seemingly forever, or vanish in a fleeting moment when we least suspect. And in the twilight of our years, reflecting on the life we have lived, it is love which colors every turn and twist of our memory. When we pass from this earthly plane, it will be the love that will light our soul on its journey home. I don't know, I think that kind of... If we had just started with this card, wouldn't it make sense? Okay, nice deep breath. Let's do your overview. If you've been watching these, you know what to do with me. Say it with me. Magic clap. We've got the Divine Feminine Athlete to refresh your memory, the shadow attribute. Misuse of athletic ability for selfish ends. False sense of invulnerability and entitlement. This soulmate contract is about alchemizing that into the light attribute. Dedication to transcending physical limits, including handicaps. Development of personal willpower and strength of spirit. And what does this Divine Feminine want? She wants the Divine Masculine. That's her element of fire. What does she have? She's got her own witch, magician energy here, bringing things into alignment, being a Divine Feminine, right? Has got that spirituality under her belt already, but probably in an athletic proportion. This is somebody who kind of goes for it, where this is like a big part of their creative archetypal development in this life. What's in her mind? This fire, again, creativity, right? Creativity, good fortune, passion, warmth, sex, money, pleasure, all that fifth house Leo stuff. Yeah, the Divine Masculine could be a Leo, but moot point, not necessarily so. And what's in her emotion is the one of flames. This desire to ignite, to initiate, to begin, to take a new journey, right? A new journey of passion and fire. And what is the overview there of the card of the Lovers? A decision has to be made, right? A decision to either heal this or not, to do this contract or not, but I have a feeling it's going to be, let's do this, right? Let's do this. But by bringing her own self into alignment, her head, her heart, and her throat chakra, her mind, her emotions and her choices, her conduct, all in alignment, particularly depicted with that card of the Witch. For the Divine Masculine here, we've got the shadow attribute of the Femme Fatale, inappropriate use of sexuality, attachment to money and power, that this soulmate contract is helping him to alchemize it into the light attribute. Highlights the erotic energy of the feminine, opens your heart when your dependency is rejected. So something about here about being vulnerable as well, about being receptive, about letting it in, not necessarily about being a bottom, but you never know. Not all Divine Masculines are tops. Just gonna say, not all Divine Feminines are bottoms. I'm Divine Feminine, I'm a top. Let's start a Facebook group. Let's not. What he wants. Eight of Swords, this repetitive feeling trapped, like that there are limits, that there are these, and they are belief oriented. So that's who wants to deal with that, because nobody wants that, right? That's wants to be dealt with. And of course, the fire and the wick and wax that feed the flame, that card of the devil, that there are unhealthy attachments here, but who the fuck doesn't have those? I'm not saying that the Divine Feminine doesn't have those. It's just she kind of knows this stuff. Like, those are hurdles. These are things that have made her grow stronger, right? So it feels like she's got the tools, that Magician card in the Earth position, to deal with this devil. But remember, when we're talking about the god Pan, there is something base, something physical, but we need base. We need a foundation. So yes, the primogenitor urge to get everybody pregnant, right? Like, to keep the survival of the species going, that's in there too. But there does feel like there are some shadows, there are some chains of attachments here that are unhealthy, that this Divine Masculine may not know about. but the divine feminine can definitely serve there in a very hot, but also very, yes, sensual, but yes, also a very spiritual, powerful way. What's on his mind? This Four of Pentacles, certainly about holding on. I mean, attachments, right? Holding back, don't want to show, don't want to reveal, don't want to let go. And that would make sense with that Eight of Swords in the element of fire too, like this repetitive feeling bound, right? Different than the Nine of Swords, which is being kept up late at night. This is something like he's starting to kind of get. It's like, this is a pattern for me. This is what, like, I'm like trapped. Why can't I, particularly with the Whisper of Love card, we'll get there, because what's going on in his emotional field is the star, like hope, that light. There is this pinpoint of light calling him forward on his journey. And remember, before we had compasses and maps, we needed the North Star, Polaris, to find our direction. So this is spirit. I feel like the star is the most spiritual card in the Major Arcana, probably the whole tarot. Because it really is about the grace of hope, what I call, it's in my book, Words of Grace, the Mother Grace, great Mother Goddess, please grant me, bless me with the grace of hope, that I alone do nothing, but with the gods all things are possible, and that somehow this is all part of the divine plan and for the well-being of all, right? That's what we need, the golden thread to guide us through the labyrinth. Though it be just a thread, it is unbreakable, it's always there, but sometimes we drop the thread and have to find it again. And what's the overview here is the Sun, which is a really beautiful counterpart to the divine feminine with that card of the Lovers. That from the point of view of the divine, right, the fifth dimensional and above, spirit point of view, that absolutely this is happiness and healing. Apollo is, among other things, the god of the healing, the god of the sun, the divine masculine in its ascendant form, right? That's just wonderful. Oh, and I just realized we have Pan in both of these. Oh my goodness gracious, I can't believe I didn't realize the divine feminine has the Pan card as the Emperor Hierophant in her fire. And the divine masculine has Pan, the devil. I mean, that is in the book, Juliet Sharman Burke's Mythic Tarot. Pan, the devil. So a double Pan, which is, I think, a camera thing. So let's look at the Whisper of Love here. I think this is really indicative, kind of weaving this together. The divine feminine has love who you are. You are a divine and wonderful person deserving all of the wonderful things that life has to offer, right? She's not been there, done that, but because of that athlete archetype, she really has learned to love herself, to embrace her shadow. So kind of it feels like if this divine masculine is afraid to share, she's like, honey, what do you got? I've not been there, done that, but it's like I've been through this myself. So much more of a loving, sympathetic thing here. So what does the divine masculine have from the higher self? Embrace this new opportunity of love that is here. This may pertain to work opportunities or spiritual growth. Obviously, it's about spiritual growth and the healing of the sexuality. And what do we wrap this up with? The Lovers, which I think that poem, right, it beckons, right? This beckons. This is the divine calling you both forward. But because we have the Lovers card on the table as well with the divine feminine, that certainly everyone has free will here. But the opportunity for healing, divine union, alchemy, and really considering the holographic nature of planet Earth, right, of all of life, that we're all one. As this heals, this could be healing sexual abuse and neglect wounds for humanity, right? Whether been abused or wants to abuse or any of that, this is a great way of healing and diffusing that for the collective. So that, spiritual sexuality, here, let's just do this. Magic clap. Spiritual sexuality doesn't mean it's all like, on beds of white feathers and gentle caresses. No, the tantrics, baby, the tantrics. There can be some pretty heavy damn slap and tickle there. And you know what? If there needs to be chips, dips, chains, whips, those are your magical tools, right? Those are your spiritual props. Whatever it is, it's allowing that shadow, that devil, its voice without it running the show. Because this is the divine too. See, people don't remember, if we want to talk the Judeo-Christian paradigm of Satan, the devil, right, was an archangel, the brightest, Lucifer Morningstar, which I have to get back to watching that series. I only watch it with my past life son when he comes over. We watch it, we laugh, because I know all like the biblical stuff. I should have been a comparative religion scholar, but no fun in that, no money in that either. Tarot is much better. So that thing of it is divine. It's like the demon, as as you love what rises, whatever the shadow, it has immense power. Whatever rises within you, to love it, to let it have its voice, to let it speak, but in a safe context. You don't let it possess you. That's emotional exorcism. That's what I went through yesterday, and it's ongoing too. You know. All the way home, right? What a magnificent soulmate spread. I only have one planet in Scorpio, and it's Neptune, right? It's like all the Gen Xers have it pretty much. Sex and drugs and rock and roll. Hell yeah. The 80s was fun. The 90s, we went flannel. It's okay. I miss the 80s, but not really. Reagan. This is such a wonderful reading, almost of which I was a Scorpio. Maybe in my next life, we'll see. So, wow, I'm a little blown away by this, and really considering, I say at the beginning, no guarantees, this is a sexual romantic read. This one is. So, thank you so much for watching my Scorpio collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine, whoever you are in this. Please do remember, like and subscribe. I'm promising. Drunk Tarot, which is right up your alleys, right? So to speak. And may this Scorpio collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, soulmate contract be blessed with all that it needs. All of you in the collective, may you all be blessed with all that you need to love, to heal, to grow, to have the best sex ever for the well-being of all. And so it is. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all. Check your other signs if you like. I'm going to keep going. But for now, breathe, hail, farewell, and blessed be.